Vande Mataram, welcome to Sanatana. We have seen the historical and cultural importance of Kumbh Mela in the last video, and we shall see how people who fear Hindu unity and Dharmic awakening try to disgrace Kumbh Mela or stop Kumbh Mela. This video will be made into two parts. This one will consider the British and Mughal invasion period, and the other one will consider the post-independence period. In Hindu culture, banyan tree holds a lot of value and it is treated very sacred. We have many Puranic references for banyan trees, and in all practicality, every inch of that banyan tree is actually helpful to humans, from giving shade to the people who are traveling or to its medicinal benefits. No wonder our culture places any other tree and also banyan tree at a very high value. There are said to be 5 sacred banyan trees. First, Akshayavat at Prayagraj. Second, Siddhavat in Ujjain. Third, Vanchivat at Vrindavan. Fourth, Mokshavat at Gaya. And the fifth one is Panchavat at Panchavati. Just a few kilometers away from Triveni Sangam, there is a sacred banyan tree called Akshayavat. Vat is generally what we call a banyan tree, and Akshay means undecaying or undying. So this particular tree is said to have been mentioned in Puranas and Ramayana also. Puranas mention that Trimurti performed a yajna at the banks of this Sangam and created this Akshayavat. Ramayana also mentions this Akshaya tree where Siddha Gurus meditate and rest under it. Later, Huan Sang, the Chinese traveler who mentioned Kumbh Mela in his recordings, also talks about this Akshayavat. He wrote that there is a temple in the city and there is a huge banyan tree in it. Its branches and leaves are spread far and wide. Swami Dilip Das Tyagi, a famous saint and head of Sri Ram Janaki Mahal, said that several methods were adopted during the Mughal period to destroy the existence of this Akshayavat. It was cut and burnt dozens of times, were unsuccessful. Akshayavat would return to its original form a few months after being cut and burnt. Akbar enforced a ban on visiting and offering prayers to this tree during his tyranny. This ban was only lifted in 2018. This is the sad state of Hindus of India I speak of. Such a sacred tree with a lot of historical reverence, and its ban was only lifted in 2018, decades after we won freedom. The late CDS General Bipin Rawatji visited the Patalpuri temple at this tree and discussed with CM Yogi Adityanath to lift the ban and start the beautification works. There might be few people now who can say that since Akbar made a treaty with Naga Sadhus to perform Ganga Snan and Puja at Sangam, Akbar is some so-called secular ruler or something, which is a grave misconception. Akbar and the other invaders knew that the Naga Sadhus are a force to reckon with and have seen defeat at their hands, and how ferociously these Naga Sadhus will fight and protect temples and Sanatana Dharma. Let us come to the British invasion and colonization. They have also banned huge Hindu gatherings and especially Kumbh Mela, citing random reasons. British already faced the wrath of sannyasi warriors during 1770s in Bengal, and then understood that they will be defeated and kicked out of this country with another war after the first war of independence in 1857. So, in 1857, the British authorities not only bombarded the area where the Kumbh Mela was scheduled to occur, but also transformed it into a cantonment zone. The reason? They feared large Hindu gatherings which could encourage more numbers to join the freedom movement and revolt. According to the colonial records, priest community associated with the Kumbh was among those who raised their voices against the British rule. They supported and sustained the First War of Independence in 1857, as well as opposed the colonial government and actively campaigned against it, as it supported Christian missionaries and officials who continuously treated these priests as ignorant co-religionists and made aggressive efforts to convert Hindu pilgrims to Christian faith. The Prayag priests also retaliated severely after the British banned and objected to their practices, and they have also burned down missionary camps and conversion churches. After the British gained control, the Prayag priest community endured severe persecution, resulting in hanging of several of these individuals. A large portion of land near the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna rivers was seized and incorporated into government cantonment. The gathering of these priests and pilgrims at Kumbh were marked by waving of flags that referenced the rebellion and racial oppression in the aftermath of 1857. The British also misreported on the issue. Maclean wrote that the British media depicted these assemblies and subsequent protests as later Kumbhs with feelings of hostility and distrust. In 1942 also, the British have cited World War II as a reason to avoid gatherings, saying that Japan would bomb the region. They prevented sale of train tickets and did not allocate any resources and stopped the arrangements to discourage Hindus from gathering. According to Amit Agnihotri, the regional archives officer at Prayagraj, Britishers tried every other method to persuade akhadas and pilgrims to keep away from the Kumbh area during the period, giving an excuse that Japan could invade from the eastern front of the country on any day. So, there was a sort of war emergency. The British also did not make arrangements, and the absence of any document related to Kumbh supports this theory. Historians believe that there was another reason behind the move, as the British clearly feared that the massive crowd gathering at Kumbhmela could fuel the independence movement. Freedom fighters assembled during Kumbh. At the time in 1942, the Quit India movement was at its peak, and a large gathering like a holy Kumbh could become a major concern for the colonial administration. The imperial power was worried that the people present at Kumbh could be inspired to join freedom struggle. After all, the Vande Mataram was inspired from the Sannyasi rebellion only. Nevertheless, several sects attended the sacred festival even during the ban, and even with multiple attempts of British trying to prevent them, they were taking small amounts of water back in vessels to keep the tradition going on, and many sects attended Mela despite the attempts of the British. Through this freedom war, Kumbh continued to play a significant role until 1947, serving as an important venue where locals and politicians gathered in large numbers. The Sanatana Dharma Sabha held a meeting at Prayag Kumbh Mela in 1906, and under the leadership of Bharat Ratna, late Madan Mohan Malviya resolved to establish Banaras Hindu University. The Kumbh Melas have also been important pivotal centers for Hindutva movement and its politics. The Vishwa Hindu Parishad was also founded at Haridwar Kumbh in 1964. These historical events highlight that the cultural and religious festivals like Kumbh not only have spiritual importance but also have a profound impact on political and social spheres of Bharat. No matter how many hurdles existed, Hindus never stopped the tradition of Kumbh Mela, and that is why we need today's youth to understand the importance of such festivals and carry these thousands of years of legacy and traditions forward. Let us see how the anti-Hindu, Mughal-loving political parties after the independence treated Kumbh Mela and uncover the economic impact of Kumbh Mela in the next video. Until then, share this video with your friends and family. Help more and more people understand how Kumbh unites Hindus for a greater cause. Like, share and subscribe to Sanatana Vajra. We'll meet in the next video. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Bharat.